Good morning, all-nighters. How are you?
I'm brilliant. I'm brilliant. How are you?
Good. Fine, thank you. So today we are talking all things BSL, as it is National BSL Day on the 28th of April. So as you can tell, we are very rusty at BSL. We are learning BSL. We've spoken about it before that we are learning. We've been learning for the past maybe, no, about 6 months or
Six
so,
months.
maybe.
I'd say 6 months
Um,
we've been learning.
yeah, so we've been learning. Obviously, I've spoken about it before that my son, Ezreal, who is my second, who's 4 years old, hearing loss. As part of the journey, we as a family decided to start learning BSL. So what's interesting, one of the interesting things actually, is that when you're a parent with a deaf or hard of hearing child, they don't naturally just say to you, learn it. Some people are really encourage you to do it and encourage you to learn as a way of communication. And then there are other streams of people who are very much, no, just communicate using spoken language. So there are different camps. Everyone has different views and opinions, and I respect them all. It's all about what kind of suits your family and what suits you. But we decided actually we are going to learn BSL because actually it's just a different way to communicate, and it adds that extra layer of communication as well. So we have been learning. We're rusty, but you know what? It's getting in there. We're learning. We're getting there slowly but surely. And it's
Honestly, and
getting in
not
there.
just
It's
that,
just practicing and using it more consistently, I think. Go on.
it is. So it's like, so if anyone speaks a different language, you
Mm.
have to think in that language before you speak. Whereas sometimes, so a lot of the time I have to think in BSL and then say it. So I take time, so I'm like, and then you also, by the way, you also have to use your mouth as well, which is helpful. So BSL, like it's an ongoing thing. And whenever I say good morning, I'm always like, good morning. Like I'm the
Yeah.
slowest speaker in BSL ever. And it's good because it makes me think before I speak. So I actually find it really helpful. And also, Alice talks about why we're doing it. It's also to add clarity as well. So a lot of the times when Ezreal talks or we talk to Ezreal, it's great. But sometimes you just want to clarify and make sure that what you've said and what he understands is
Mhm.
exactly as has been communicated. And I think sometimes using BSL just adds that layer of, clarity. Did he understand what I'm saying? And it's been really helpful. Also to mention is that they're learning it at school, right? Not just Ezreal, but also Malachi.
At his school, I think I've mentioned it before in previous podcasts already, but his school has been absolutely fantastic from the
Oh,
moment.
by the way, everybody, I'm going to keep interrupting Alice and I'm going to try and test her, and she should test me as well. So, what's the word for school?
School.
Okay.
So at his school, they have been absolutely brilliant from the moment he'd before even before they it was confirmed that he had a place there. But the entire school now learned British Sign Language. I'm gonna flip between saying British Sign Language and BSL, but they mean the same thing ultimately. So at the school, they've been teaching the children BSL as a form of communication. The feedback has been brilliant because they've been very much, it's not just for Ezreal, it's for all the children. So there are children who have learning disabilities in his school. So they're using it as a
Bear
way
with me,
to help
Alice.
them
How do you
communicate as
say?
well.
How do you say children?
Children. So there are children who have learning difficulties. There are children who actually have neurodiverse needs and things like that. And also there are just the neurotypical children in school, which is the majority of the children as well. But they are also learning because it helps them add an extra language, like we said before, and also helps them communicate better with other people who might have neurodiverse needs as well. So it's
And just
absolutely fantastic.
and just to say that it is a language that's being learnt at school now. So it is part of the national curriculum. If you want to take British Sign Language as a part of your curriculum, it is now a formal
GCSE.
qualification. Yes, at GCSE level, you can take it, which is fantastic. It is recognised, it's part of the curriculum. And I think it's such a good step forward to recognise that, you know, we all speak international languages. So you learn French, German, Spanish, Italian at
Mm,
school. But actually, why aren't you learning BSL? It is a language that is widely known, widely understood. And why shouldn't you get a qualification in it? So I think it's brilliant that it is now a formal part of the curriculum. So when your child is selecting their options for GCSE, always keep that as an option available for them.
absolutely. And I think at a lot of primary schools, yeah, quite a few primary schools are starting to, because I remember learning BSL when I was in primary school, which is really weird. So our teacher, I don't think you had the same teacher as me in primary school when we went through, but I remember our teacher teaching us BSL. So I remembered the alphabet since primary school, and I've just always remembered it. So it's slightly a full circle moment now that I'm relearning it again. But quite a few primary schools do teach it. So there are some primary schools that are ahead of the curve and have been doing it consistently. And now it's now once the children go off into secondary school, they can officially learn it and get the GCSE. Like you said, it's a long time coming. We teach all these languages, French and Spanish and things like that. I learned French in school. The type of conversational French that I learn, I no French person is going to chat to me with the level of French that I know. It's abysmal. All I can basically say is I want ice cream. As far as I can remember, it's terrible.
Hold on. But you can say ice cream in sign language, right?
Ice cream. And I'm going to
You
use
know the
that more
same level of
consistently than the
French as you
French.
do BSL.
Exactly. So it's that thing of we let's teach our children or encourage our children to use to have so many languages. It's not just English or it's not just Spanish or whatever it is. Teach them your home language as well. I know that you're really, really drilling in Yoruba to the children, but as well as that, they will also have the BSL strand as well. So I just think it's so important to teach them to communicate with different people also with BSL as well, as much as we have its British Sign Language, the different regions of the UK have different sign language. They use different signs for things as well. So if you're up north, you'll use slightly different signs compared to if you're in south and things like that. So there is even regionally, it's so different. But then if you go to America, they have ASL. There also one of the ladies who comes to our house to teach us sign language, she is originally from Ukraine, and she's had to completely learn BSL from scratch because the sign language they use in Ukraine is completely different. The same way, like when I watch American shows, Miss Rachel as well, they incorporate sign in Miss Rachel, and the American sign is completely different to UK sign language. So it's so different, and every country has sign language. It's a form of communication. But I just encourage people, even if you just know the basics, which is it might just be finger spelling your name
Do you
because
know
even
what? Let's just
we
pause
were
at
so
finger
we're still so
spelling.
slow at finger spelling. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, finger spelling is key. So if you are unable to work out a word, like you don't know what the word is in sign
Mm,
language, being able to fluently finger spell will get you so far. So knowing your
100%.
alphabet and then spelling the words is amazing. So we are so slow at finger spelling, but if you just incorporate a bit of finger spelling in your day every day will be so helpful. But I would fully advocate for you to learn the alphabet and then practice it because if nothing else, you'll be able to finger spell and communicate.
Absolutely. Like even Malachi, he's brilliant. He finger spells. He knows his alphabet. So for example, when we're in the car and we're playing I Spy, excuse me. So when we're in the car and we're playing I Spy, and then I might say something beginning with P. And then Malachi's response is, do you mean per? Like that. So he will then finger spell and just double check. And then we'll both then be showing Ez like, is it this? Do you mean this? Or something begin with ah. And we'll both be like, ah. And he clarifies whenever we're playing the game, he uses BSL to clarify, do you mean this? Because with phonics, I'm terrible with phonics. I might be saying ah, and then he's just like, no, that's not how you say it. You know, these kids in phonics, they know how to do it so perfectly. I'm still struggling. But yeah, so he then finger spells just to clarify. And I think it's brilliant that he does that because then he's also reinforcing and remembering sign language. Please, even if you just, like Margaret said, even if you just learn the alphabet, it will get you so far, right?
It will. In this episode, we are celebrating National BSL Day. And by the way, day today is that. So you know it's BSL Day. And we are going to show you and share with you all our favorite social media accounts to help
Mm.
you learn BSL and just make BSL part of your scrolling every day. And then also talk about a few social events that, although we have not been to, we are going to attend over the next year or so. Let's just get to it. What are our favorite social media accounts that people should literally go and click? And what I will also do is put a clip of each social media account so that you can see what they do and then come back to it when you've got a minute. We're going to start with Command Hands, which is on
Brilliant.
YouTube and Instagram. We love Command Hands. So, Alice, tell us about Command Hands.
Command hands, it's just one guy mainly. And each day he just does a BSL sign each day. He's so consistent in his uploads, and so he will teach you different things that you can, different words, sentences, and things like that that you can communicate in BSL. And then he will then do a section where he asks you a question, and then you have to figure out what the question is. Or he might finger spell something and then he'll ask you, what did he finger spell? And it's such a brilliant way just to learn. And like Margaret said, it's brilliant when you're scrolling because you'll scroll past him and be like, oh, let me just have a look and try and learn a bit of a sign for this day. So he's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, really love Command
His
Hands.
signs. So he groups his signs. So it will be greetings or household items, or if you're going to the
Food.
shops, or food. Exactly. So he groups all his words. And then most recently, as you said, he does like a Friday quiz or a particular quiz on a particular day. So I think he's absolutely brilliant. And also it's really clear. It's him standing in front of a screen. He'll do the word
Mm,
and then he'll turn to the side. He'll do the word and then he will then put it into a sentence for you. So Command Hands on Instagram and YouTube. Go and follow him today.
yeah. And
Next
when you
one.
follow him on YouTube as well, what's great is if you click the follow thing, it will just like ours, which you should have hit the follow on ours as well on YouTube. Just saying. Whenever he uploads, it pings up, so then it also reminds you, oh, let me have a look. So yeah.
Brilliant. Then there's another one called, next one we want to share with you is being underscore her. And it's two gorgeous twins who are deaf, and their names are Herman and Heroda. And they just go through their lives and what it's like to be deaf, their daily experiences. They do different signs and they talk about just being deaf twins and deaf sisters. And I've only just recently started following them. But Alice, I know you've been following them for a while.
Yes, I have. They are absolutely amazing. So it's so weird because when Ezreal was first, when we went to the Evelina, which is in central London, and we were kind of they were doing his assessment. So these initial assessments, this is my first introduction to them was they had like a picture of them at the Evelina Centre, and it was just different pictures of people who obviously have hearing loss and things like that. And I was obviously drawn to them because they are women of color. They're black women who have hearing loss. And I just thought, oh my gosh, wow, I've never seen them before and would have never come across them before. And from that moment, I started following them. And they do like they raise a lot of awareness. They do like little skits and stuff like that, just around what it is to be deaf and things, and also what it's like to argue with your sister when you're deaf and things like that. They do like really funny stuff as well, and they do a lot of fashion stuff. They can dress. My goodness, their style is incredible. But yeah, they're absolutely amazing. Love following them, and they're so upbeat and positive, and they just share their story. So absolutely love them. Yeah.
Follow them right now. The next one
Mm.
is hands to here. So hands, Alice, can you spell hands?
Hands.
Hands to here. Can you spell here? I would do that with R. Do you do that with R? Or is it that?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I just thought I'd just double checking.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Okay, so hands to here is a mum. So she's a mum of deaf children. And every week she does like one or a group of words for you to learn. And she'll just like do those sign languages on the screen. And also it just follows her journey as a mum of children who have hearing loss. And I love it because it's really simple. She's on Instagram, by the way. And she's just so relatable as well. And she just makes it really simple and accessible, because sometimes you can watch the videos or see stuff and you just think, I don't know how I would even learn or how I would even work that out. But she makes signing so accessible and so like part of your day. So definitely go and follow her. The next one on our list is the National Deaf Children's Society UK. So NDCS UK. Alice is going to sign NDCS UK.
And
UK.
oh, UK. Sorry.
Brilliant, thank you. So NDCS, National Deaf Children's Society, also have a fantastic Instagram and YouTube account, which you can follow, and they do lots of updates, sign language, but not just that, they give advice, they give tips, they talk about any advice and help that they can give you with your family, the legal support that they can provide, just all the things that they do as an organisation is on their website, but also on their Instagram account. So definitely go and follow them.
And they do a lot of like testimonials, so actual families share their stories or their journey or give updates on what's going on for them and things like that. So yeah, it's good.
Ask your audiologist for a teacher of the deaf, immediately a referral to that department, which will be done through your local council. In turn, there are local social groups that you can join and speak to other parents going through the same things that you're going through. Bethany had her newborn hearing test the day after she was born, and she failed on her left ear.
Our world had just been changed upside down, really. Like before, we're going to have to live completely different ways. All the things that we're going to have to learn, it's quite a lot to take on at that stage.
Bethany's teacher of the deaf firstly came here to get to know us and Bethany, and then her teacher of the deaf is another point of support for us to lean on, especially as we're sort of coming to the age now where we're starting to think about primary schools. It's going great now. I think, you know, there's so much out there to help her.
So I think Bethany's future is really bright. She'll be able to learn anything she wants.
My name is Tasnia, and I work here at the National Deaf Children's Society, or NDCS for short. So what's my role? I'm an advice and guidance officer. We're here to support you with various things. For example, if you get a letter with your child's school placement allocation and you're not happy, or you receive a form that you need to fill out and you're not sure what to do, or if you have a meeting at the school and you want someone to go with you to support you, we can help. So, you can contact us. We have a free and confidential helpline and our staff are happy to help you. You can do an internet search. Just type in NDCS helpline. And you can also contact us via phone or email or through signed video. We are looking forward to helping you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And if you've listened to our previous podcast, you know I love the National Deaf Children's Society. They offer so much help and it's free. They're just amazing. They're fantastic.
Another one is another social media. I would call her a phenomenon, right? Because she is young, she's cool, she's like, I just love her. So,
hi everyone, my name is Charis, and this is my sign name, and I'm from Manchester, and I'm profoundly deaf. Growing up black and deaf, there were many challenges that I faced. I went to mainstream school and I had very few black friends, and I did want more black friends, to be honest. At school, sometimes communication was difficult, like understanding conversations could be tricky, and support I received nothing because the doctors didn't believe I was deaf. So really, that was really difficult without having that support. There are a few reasons why being black and deaf is important to me. The first reason is cultural connection. And this allows me to connect with other people who have similar life experiences and backgrounds to me. The second reason is my identity and embracing it. The third reason is social connection. Connecting with deaf Black communities offers me opportunities for social.
Her Instagram account is called Hipster.sunshine. So Hipster.sunshine. And her name is Caris Townsend. So I will keep putting clips of the people that we mentioned. And she's lovely. So she talks about being deaf, she talks about representation, just talks about, she's cool, so she's always got her hair different, her makeup's different, and she talks about why she set up this account. And it's just, if you just want something interesting to scroll through on your Instagram account.
And she also talks about like her loss, because I think she wasn't born with hearing loss. I think she lost her hearing gradually and then learnt sign. But yeah, she talks about like her journey and her experiences, and it's so lovely, especially for a younger audience who are in, because well, she looks very young, but I don't know how
I
old
think she's in her teens. She must be in her
that's
teens.
what I was
I don't think
thinking.
she's in
And
her
then I thought,
20s yet.
exactly, and then I thought maybe she's in her early 20s. But yeah, but it's so lovely just to watch her sign and things like that. She's brilliant. So yeah, give her a follow.
The next one is Deaf Chef Official. Deaf Chef Official. Okay, everyone's like, is it a cooking thing? No, he is a chef, but it's mainly BSL. So the why I've selected this one is because if I'm just looking for an account that shows me how to say a word, no, Xavian, I am on a video. Great, put it in the bin, please. She's found a jelly bean on the floor. Put it in the bin. Okay. As we were saying, Deaf Chef Official. So when I'm putting this one in, because if you want to look for a word, so he categorizes his account based on words. Good morning, he will show you good morning, and that will kind of be the end of that clip. And if you want to say something like shops, or it's more phrases or short sentences, is what you would watch him for, and it would be specific to that particular day or that particular month. So I really like him. It is very direct to the point, and you get what you are looking for. The next one is Deaf Umbrella. So it's deaf awareness and BSL support for anyone who is looking for support, really. So this is less regarding actual BSL and teaching you BSL, but this is more around the support and the provisions around it. I follow them on Instagram because I like just their content in terms of what they are providing and the information that they share. Changes in legislation, it's all on there, and it's really, really helpful. So I would definitely follow their Instagram account.
Another one is I Am Israel. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. But yeah, it's I Am.
You don't need to pronounce it correctly because you can spell it.
Do you know what, Margaret? It is I Am ISRALE, Israel. And she must be around, she's less than 10 years old, maybe around 8 years old or something. And her parents must run her account as well. And she is a young lady, a baby girl, and she is deaf and uses sign. And she uses her account to teach people sign language, raise awareness around sign and things like that. And it's just so uplifting and so positive, and I just find her amazing. So yeah, and she's a massive Arsenal supporter, which Arsenal hit and miss right now, so she must be going through it hard. But yeah, I think her account is amazing, and yeah, she's raising awareness, she's doing signs, she teaches. She doesn't do a sign a day, she's not that consistent, but she does like do different bits of sign, and yeah, she's absolutely incredible. So check them out. Another one is also, and they're American, but they are that deaf family, and they're American. So the mum and the dad are deaf, and then they have a deaf daughter, and then they've had a deaf child, and they've had another child, and he has hearing loss. So just to be clear, when it comes to deafness, there's different ranges. So some people, they just say deaf, whether you're hard of hearing or whether you're deaf. Some people just say deaf, whereas some people break it down into deaf or hard of hearing, which is you have sound and you might just need a hearing aid or things like that. So there's the different categories that people can put you in. So they have, as parents, they are deaf. They have one deaf daughter, and then I think their son is hard of hearing. And they just talk about their journey and just how, like, they welcomed their son and their daughter, finding out that they were deaf, and how they celebrated it and welcomed them into the community and things like that. And I just thought it was so lovely and wholesome. So they talk about like their journeys and things like that. So they're American, they're Mexican as well, live in America. But yeah, I give their page a follow too. It's just an interesting family. Now I think
But before we go on to the social events, so we're going to talk about some social events. We are going to talk about two apps. The first, they're not on social media, but these are the ones that you have on your phone. This is an account that you can have on your phone. So when you want to search a particular word, so let's say you're at the shops, but you can't be like going on Instagram trying to search something. We don't have time for that. So this is an app that you have on your phone, and you can actually search the word. So what is the word for weather? So it is a person signing that particular word, but it will be from different regions. So you will have like London, you will then have like Scottish, you will have Irish, etc. Or if it's Birmingham, etc. So you will then have that particular region or area translated for you. And I like it because it means that if I just need to search a word, I can search it. And also, I don't think you need to be online for these apps. So once you download the app, you don't have to be online. So let's say you are, I don't know, in the Scottish Hills somewhere, and you need to know the sign for I need to get home or home. You can then search it using the app. So the two apps, there you go, well done. The two apps are Spread the Sign. Spread the Sign. So that's the first one, and I think it's really helpful. And the other one is
Sign BSL, and it's pretty much the same in that you can search a word or like a short sentence, good morning or something like that, and then once you've typed it in, it will then bring up someone, about three different regional sign language people, and they will sign it for you, so then you know how to actually sign that word that you might be stuck on, if you can't finger spell it, that is. So yeah, really good apps.
now
And
we're
they're
going.
free.
Oh, sorry, Alice.
No, I'm saying, and they're free.
They are free. The last thing that we're going to talk about very briefly is social events. You all know we like going out only during the day, not at night time. And if we
No,
need to have childcare, then we're not going anywhere. But we
no.
do like a social event. So we're going to list a few social events that we think might be of use for you. The first one is Deaf Rave. So I didn't know about this, but Alice, you've been following them for ages.
Yeah, so I came across them by accident. I don't know where. And so it's all across the UK. So I've not managed to find one that's actually in London yet. But they have events all across the UK. They do like events and festivals and raves and things like that. And I was watching one upload that someone had done. And so what they can do is you can wear like this vest thing, and then you can feel the music through your body and stuff. It's amazing. So yeah, so they do like events across the UK. I'm dying to find one that's in London or a bit closer. But yeah, they do loads of events for deaf people and things like that. And they're actually inclusive, so it doesn't have to just be for deaf people. It's anybody can go along. So yeah, they're absolutely amazing.
We will put a link to their site. So definitely attend one of those and let us know how it is. And then when we attend one, we will definitely let you know how it goes. The next one is SE Signers BSL Cafe Social. That's really long, but it's basically BSL Cafe Social, and they meet in Southeast London, but they meet the second Sunday of each month. So the second Sunday of each month from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And basically you just go, get yourself a drink, a cup of tea, biscuits, etc. And you can just socialize with other people who, as Alice said, are either deaf, who have hearing loss, etc. And you can just literally socialize. Alice and I are determined to get to one of these social events to practice our BSL. We are going to be the slowest BSL signers in the room, but we are definitely committed to practicing and implementing our BSL somehow.
Because what do they always say, like, if you're trying to learn a language, go to the country where and talk to people, communicate in that language, don't speak in your own language. And no matter how slow it might be or how many mistakes you make, you just have to really immerse yourself in it. And I think it's the same for this as well. We just have to go and immerse ourselves in the experience and not rely on our speech, but rely on sign. And obviously with sign as well, I don't think we've mentioned this, with sign language, it's very facial expression heavy as well. So you can't be saying you're happy and then just being like, I'm happy or whatever. It relies so much on your facial expressions and like your gestures and things like that. It plays such a massive role. And I think with us, we take for granted just how much our face might not be matching what we're saying. But in sign language, it's so important. And I find that with Ezreal as well. Sometimes I'll be saying something, my face might not match, and then he'll be like changing my face a little bit, like, are you sad? Are you happy? What is happening? So yeah, this is why we're determined to immerse ourselves in an experience where actually we just have to do it, right? No matter how slow it takes.
No
People just
matter
have to
how
be
long it
patient.
takes and no matter how slow we are, but also it's not trying to be self-conscious all the time. And I also think it's a community that is really inclusive, and we've only
Yeah.
been embraced by the deaf community and the community with hearing loss in terms of trying to encourage us and support us to improve our BSL. And so yes, the other one is the Bromley Deaf Pub. So Bromley Deaf Pub, they meet every month for a social. So if you aren't into cups of tea, but you want maybe just like a cider or a beer or a Coke or whatever, then you should definitely attend one of the Bromley Deaf Pub sessions. The next one is in May, but definitely check out their website. They're on Facebook if you want to find out when the sessions are. Alice and I are determined to attend one of these.
Absolutely, 100%. We have to go. We have to go. Um, and like we said, you just got to immerse yourself into it, right? And just have a go. And the lady who comes to the house to teach us sign, we've mentioned these events to her and stuff. And we said to her, like, oh, we're really nervous because obviously we're not fluent and we're really slow. And she burst out laughing and was just like, but they'll just be so happy that you're trying and that you're having a go, that no one is going to care. And she just found it hilarious that we were so like in our heads and so self-conscious about it, and she was just like, nobody cares, they just want to see you try, and that's it. And you'll learn so much while you're there. You pick it up so differently. We're determined to get down.
So that's the social events for you.
Oh, and just to mention as well, depending on where you live, the National Deaf Children's Society as well, they have you'll probably have a National Deaf Children's Society break off, I can't think of the word, in your area. So for example, where I live, we have Kent Deaf Children's Society, which is part of the National Deaf Children's Society umbrella. It just comes under their umbrella. So we have Kent Children's and Deaf Children's Society, and they throw events usually every month or so. And you can take your deaf child down along to their events, and actually get involved in things, meet other parents, or just have more accessible events that you can take them along to. So that is, I really encourage you, if you, depending on where you live, you can take your children along to their events, and they do different things. So they've done like soft play, they do trampolining, they do like walks, they do like go-karting events and stuff, they do pantomime and things. And what they do is that they just buy a number of tickets and you can just buy it from them. Yeah, so it's an event where you can take your children along to. So they have like events for younger children, but then they also do specifically for teens as well, and to encourage teenagers with hearing loss to also get together as well. Because sometimes it's that thing of trying to just make those connections and stuff. So I encourage you to check out where your local one might be. And you can also take siblings along to these events as well. So Malachi's been along to stuff that I've taken Ezreal to as well. So, yeah, so they do events all the time. So check that out as well for your little one. Thank you for sticking with us, and we hope that you've taken away just some information all about British Sign Language, BSL, where to go to get more information about BSL, any people who you might be able to learn a bit more from as well, or raise awareness around and things like that. We hope you have been able to take something away from the session. National BSL Day is on the 20th April. National Sign Language Day was in March. We've missed that now, but we're talking about National BSL Day, which is on the 28th of April. Let's raise awareness. If you can on the day, do some sign leading up to it, before it, after it, whatever. Send us any clips or bits of you doing any BSL as well. That would be brilliant. But yes, we hope that you have found this topic really helpful. We will be talking about it more as we've kind of spoken in today's session. We mentioned all these things in different parts of our podcast and stuff like that. So it's always a topic that we are talking about. But we hope that you have found this one today specifically helpful. Good night. Good morning. Au revoir. Bye.